Dennis Tardan. Men, Women, and the Great Divide. Men, Women, and the Great Divide.
Madam Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I come before you today to push the envelope of political correctness in a Toastmaster speech, because I'm going to be talking about cleavage. Now, I am conflicted about even bringing up this subject because on the one hand, I'm a feminist, and I deeply deplore the objectification of women. On the other hand, I'm a guy. Standard, white bread, heterosexual guy who has a particular sensitivity and fascination with this part of the female human anatomy. Now, I don't know sociologically or psychologically exactly how this happens, but I know that it does. And we as men, end up being deeply sensitive to a subject no one talks about. There are no rules that I know of, no particular etiquette that has been put out so that we know exactly how to handle when we come upon cleavage. I was talking about this to my wife, who also happens to be a feminist, and I said, wouldn't it be great if there was a book? And she said, absolutely, and I will help you write it. Page 1, don't look. Page 2, the end. The problem with that is that when I get into a conversation with someone who happens to be having cleavage at that moment, and I am saying, yelling to myself over and over again, don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look. Number one, not listening. Number two, there is just something about the human being when we say, don't look. Have you ever been sitting in a conversation and say, don't look over there, don't look. What do you do? It's normal, it's human. We, in addition to being men, are humans. But I believe now that I am 65 years old, my testosterone has dropped down a quart so I can actually see over it. And I believe that the answer to some of our situation is information. So I've come up with an idea to give those of us who happen to have this sensitivity a way of being able to manage our expectations, to know when we're going into a situation exactly what to expect. I call it the Cleavage Plunge Index. The CPI. And what this Cleavage Plunge Index is, and it would be posted on websites, you know, and welcome to the city of Austin, here's the Cleavage Plunge Index. Welcome, you would know this, and here's the way it would work. It would go from a +4, which is full burqa, down to a -6, which is red carpet any award ceremony. This is the range that you have, with a 0 being the Peter Pan call. So you would know. Now, I come from Victoria, which is a city, well, it's frankly Victoria. And it would have an average cleavage plunge index about a -1. Now, I moved here to Austin, a much more progressive city, about a year ago, and it was a little breathtaking because suddenly I was encountering cleavage in so many places that I would just normally not, and I'm not trying. this is the thing that I don't understand. I think that whenever I encounter cleavage, that I'm being very discreet. I feel like it's just a simple. That's what it looks. My wife says it looks like this. Really? There's nothing in between those two things. There's no way that we can perhaps feel that we can be sensitive. So if we could just have some communication on this, if we can know this, if we can cut each other a little bit of slack. But frankly, it is up to us. It is up to us as men to figure out a way to be more sensitive, to be more mature about this situation. And I think information is the key. So if we can have these conversations, we're going to be much more successful. We're going to actually have some peace in this so-called battle of the sexes. Because even though those of us, we men, we suffer from testosterone poisoning. This poisoning happens because we've seen it happen since the beginning of time. We've looked at the ravages of how this works. Together, if we can have this information, we're going to be able to succeed. We're going to be able to go into the 21st century with women as our partners and our collaborators. Because if we men are not willing to grow up about this, we might as well move to the Middle East, because we're going to need a whole lot of us.